afternoon and welcome to my very first Money Making Mom scope. My book, Money Making Mom, that you can see in the picture here, is launching on November 3rd, and I am so excited. I cannot believe that it is almost here. So exciting. And so leading up to the launch, I'm going to be doing afternoon and evening scopes on the topic of making money, and I'll be answering your questions and sharing tips and tricks and strategies and ideas to help you. Yay! I'm so glad that you're a part of the launch group. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Okay, so first off, I have to show you, this just came in the mail. It's the final copy of the book. This is so exciting, people. I haven't even had a chance. My husband literally just brought it in and said it, gave it to me. And it is so exciting when you have worked so hard on something to actually hold it in your hands. It's an amazing feeling. So very, very exciting. And I'm especially excited because if you notice down here in this red section, there's someone named Dave Ramsey who endorsed my book. I'm very honored and humbled that he would endorse my book. And so anyway, I'm Crystal Payne. For those of you who might be new, my name is Crystal Payne. I am the founder of MoneySavingMom.com. I am the New York Times best-selling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode, and I'm also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings. And then I am the author of the almost coming out book, Money Making Mom, How Every Woman Can Earn More and Make a Difference. And this book is really practical, step-by-step help to encourage you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to give you the tools that you need to start your own business or just to increase your income. Maybe you don't want to start a full-fledged business, but you want to increase your income. This book will show you how, and it not only will give you the tools and the practical step-by-step help to go from your idea to actually seeing that idea to fruition, but also it's going to give you inspiration to use the money that you earn well, because I believe that money is a tool, and I want to challenge women to not just earn more, but then to use that money to make a difference, because I believe that if each of us will do what we can do in a little way to make a difference collectively, we can massively impact the globe. And so that is my heart behind this book. I don't want to just give you the inspiration and the motivation to earn more. I also want to give you a mission to go out and take that money and do something that's going to make a difference. So the first part of the book is very practical, step-by-step, how to earn more. And the second half is then giving you that mission and giving you stories of women who are making a huge impact by using their gifts and their talents in amazing ways around the world. So that is my book, Money Making Mom, and we are going to be talking about making money and practical tips over the next few weeks. I'm going to be doing quick scopes, answering your questions on how to make money. I think I saw a question someone asked, a guy asked, would this book be appropriate for men? Would it be encouraging for men? I think that was the question. I sort of just glanced and saw it. Yes, so I wrote it specifically for women because you need to have a target market. So I wrote it specifically for women because I feel like I can speak to a woman because I am a woman and I understand the unique challenges that women face, especially if you have kids. However, if you're not a mom, if you're not a woman, I still feel like there are many, many practical ideas and suggestions in this book that would encourage you. But I want to be honest about who the target market is because I think it's helpful to know who a target market is and who a book was written for. So it was written specifically for moms who want to make money, but I think that the principles can be applied across the board to anyone who wants to increase their income and anyone who really wants to use their gifts and talents effectively and not just kind of coast through life, but people who want to live with intention and purpose, who want to wake up every day and feel like you are doing something that's making a difference. That's who this book is for. If you go to MoneySavingMom, MoneySavingMom.com, right now, the top post on MoneySavingMom.com tells you how you can get the book for just $17 if you pre-order, and then it tells you how you can get some free bonuses. I'm really excited about the free bonuses that I put together. There's a 7-day online course to help you to make over your calendar. I walk you through step by step through how to organize your days and your to-do list so that you can be more effective and more productive and have more peace and order. So that's one of the free bonuses. Another free bonus is my top tool sheet. So my top tools that I use for productivity. And then another bonus is we're going to have a special exclusive call just for people who pre-ordered that we're going to be giving you the details if you sign up, and it will be a special call just for people who pre-order. So go to MoneySavingMom.com and you can sign up, get all the details on how to get the book for just $17 right now and how to get the free bonuses. Plus, right above that post, there is a free 5-day online course, How I Make a Full-Time Income from Home. That's at the top of the page, a free 5-day course that you'll want to sign up for as well. Okay, so that was a big intro. I wasn't meaning to share all that, but I am kind of excited because I just got the book. Okay, so today I'm going to be answering a question that came from Betsy. She is from thebetsybeat.com, and she said, "Dear Crystal, you've said you don't even know how to set multiple alarms on your phone and have mentioned several times that you're not a very tech-savvy person." And that is so true. Other bloggers have said similar things. I've recently started a new blog after writing in other spaces over the years. I'm determined that this one will be successful. However, I don't know how to do everything. My question is, how did you actually begin? I assume you couldn't afford assistance right away to do the task you don't understand. What advice can you share for conquering this hurdle without having to practically get degrees in several new areas? So that's Betsy from thebetsybeat.com. Okay, so first off, I have to tell you all something, and that is that I did not go to college. I didn't go to college. I don't have a college degree. So I don't have a marketing background. I started a business with very little know-how, skills, or education as far as college degree goes. I did get my I went to an online school to get my paralegal certification because I knew that my husband was going to go to law school. And so I did that, but other than that, I graduated from high school and jumped right into some part-time jobs and ministry, and I was so busy that I just loved my life and decided not to go to college. So I am coming from that perspective of you don't have to have all these degrees and all this education and go to all these classes and take all these courses in order to be successful as an entrepreneur. Sometimes those can be very helpful. Sometimes those are very needed in certain jobs. You're going to need to have the higher education, but it's not absolutely necessary to be a successful entrepreneur. So what would I suggest to Betsy? She's saying, you know, how do I get started? How did I personally get started? Because you're right, I didn't have a team when I started. I didn't have money to invest in courses and classes and helping people coach me, having people coach me. I didn't have that. So anyway, what would I suggest? What did I do? Number one, I suggest that you read. Read. There is so much information that you can get just by reading great books. And there's also nowadays, when I started, there wasn't podcasts. There weren't podcasts and periscopes. There wasn't all the online information that there is out there just at your fingertips, you know, just by the touching a button on your phone. But read. I would go to the library and I would check out like a stack of books and I'd bring it home and I just go through them. And someone says, I hate reading. You can listen to audiobooks. That's a great way to get that information in your head without having to sit there and read through a book. So read, fill your mind up with great information. Don't feel like you have to read every word in every book, but I am constantly reading and learning and growing. And so I would check out this big stack of books, I'd go through it, and I'd get a lot of ideas. And that is how I first came up with my first business ideas. And if you haven't done so, please go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com and sign up for the 5-day course, because in there I tell about my very first business. And people, it is kind of embarrassing, but I want you to see that just because I am successful now and have, millions of people who follow me online and who read my blog, it didn't start out like that. And so I want to encourage people that start somewhere, do something. So number one, read. Readers are leaders. Always be learning, always be expanding your mind, and learn from many, many different people. I would read biographies, I would read autobiographies, and I would also read business books. But don't just feel like you have to only read books on leadership. Read books that are the stories of people who are successful. Read books that are stories of people who are not successful. Learn from that. So read. And number two, yes, Money Making Mom Book is the site for the information to sign up for the free 5-day course. You can also go to MoneySavingMom.com, and there's information on there about how to sign up for the course too. So Money Making Mom Book is the correct link. Number two, watch what others are doing. This is what I did when I was first starting out, and making money online was a brand new phenomenon, really. And I remember I found a couple blogs from people who they were successfully making money online, and I just scoured through their blogs and said, what are they doing? What are they doing? And how can I learn from what they're doing, and how can I make it work for me? Because you don't want to be a copycat. Please do not see what somebody else is doing and think, I can do that, exactly what they're doing, and go try to do that. It needs to be your idea and something that you are passionate about. So read, number one. Two, watch what others are doing. So find a few people that you feel like they're successful in what they're doing, and pay attention to what they're doing. Learn from what they're doing. That's the best way to get ideas for what would work for you. Number three, jump out and try. You just got to jump out and try. So many people, they gather all these ideas, they look at what other people are doing, they write down all these ideas, they map out all of these big business plans, but they never take the leap. They never jump out and say, I'm just going to do it. And that's what you have to do. You just have to set up that blog. You just have to make that first phone call. You just have to press publish. You just have to send that email. Do something. Don't just stand there. Don't just collect ideas. Don't just collect information. Go out and apply what you are learning. Start small. Don't go out and spend thousands of dollars to buy a business. Please don't do that. Start small. But jump out and do something. Because here's the thing, you are going to learn from doing. The best way to learn, the best way to grow, the best way to become a successful entrepreneur is to just step out and do something. I have learned so much from just making myself jump out of my comfort zone and start doing something. I remember when I started Money Saving Mom, it was in 2007, and I'd had some online businesses. I'd had a lot of failures at this point, and I wanted to start this blog because I felt like that there was a need for this information. And so I started Money Saving Mom. But guess what? I didn't have money to pay for a designer. I didn't have money to pay for any bells and whistles on this site. So what did I do? I went to Blogger, and I set up a blog on Blogger with an all-white background and text at the top that said Money Saving Mom. That's what I did. I started with that. I started somewhere with something. That was what I could do. That was what I could start with. And so that's what I started with. Instead of thinking, I gotta wait until I can have this beautiful design. I gotta wait until I can have everything like I want it to be. I just had to jump out and start. That's how you learn. And so then I learned how to tweak my sidebar. I learned how to blog. I learned how to write. I got constructive criticism and feedback that I grew from. And as I made a little bit of money, then I was able to improve it just a little bit. I remember the first improvement that I spent money on. Well, one, I bought my domain name, MoneySavingMom, but then I wanted to get a header. And so I hired this young girl, I think she was 14 or 15 years old. She was a friend of somebody that I knew. I hired her, I paid her $25 to create this header for me. And then I had a header. And it's, if you go back and look, it's really funny. I was so excited about this header, and graphic design has really improved since those days. But so I had this header that I paid $25 for. And that's all I had for a long time. And I grew the business out of that tiny little investment because that's where I could start. So read books, read very widely. I always tell people, read at least 10 to 20 books before you jump out and start. Now, if that feels overwhelming, listen to them. Listen to podcasts. There's so many great podcasts now. So read. 2, watch what others are doing. Find some people who are very successful and pay attention to what they're doing and think about how to make it work for you. Number 3, jump out and try. Just do something and learn from that. And number 4, don't be afraid to fail. This is so important. You are going to fail. You are going to fail. Just let that soak in. You are going to fail. And guess what? When you fail, you will learn so much. I have learned so much more through failure than I have from success. Failure is hard, it's discouraging, but it's part of the process. So just embrace it. Embrace it and say, what can I learn from this? If you go to Money Making Mom book and you sign up for the 5-day course, you're going to learn from video about some really big failures that I had and how my first business completely flopped, how it was a bad idea from the get-go, but I thought it was so good. But guess what? I would never have Money Saving Mom today if it wasn't for that first business, if it wasn't for how it failed, if it wasn't for what I learned from that failure. If it wasn't for how I learned about affiliate marketing, how I learned about blogging, how I learned about what does and doesn't work online, it was all because of that first big business failure. And so I'm grateful for failure. I've learned to embrace it because when I embrace it and say, okay, so I failed, what can I learn from this so I don't make that same mistake again? When I focus on that and say, what can I learn from this? Then failure isn't a failure. It's actually an education. And that is how I learn. And so my success is from standing on a pile of failure. Each of those failures have become building blocks for me that has built up the foundation for my success. I had to fail over and over and over and over again in order to succeed. Because I learned each time and I grew each time and I said, okay, that didn't work. So what would work? Or how am I going to change it next time? What am I going to do differently next time so that I don't make that same mistake again? So number 1, read books. Number 2, watch what others are doing. Number 3, jump out and try. And number 4, don't be afraid to fail. So that's my encouragement to Betsy and to all of you today. If you want to start your business, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, just start somewhere. Just do something. You're going to fail, but it's okay because failure is what is going to propel you to success. So embrace it. Learn. Keep growing, keep challenging yourself, keep stepping outside of your comfort zone. Don't give up. When you fail, brush yourself off, get back up, say, what can I learn from this so that I don't make that same mistake again? So that's what I want to share with you today. If you haven't done so already, be sure to go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com and sign up for the free 5-day course. It's a video course that I did on how I make a full-time income from home. It's my step-by-step or just a lot of personal encouragement to you from me to help you as you get started. And there's an email that will come in your inbox every day and a video. And it's just packed with encouragement and keys to success, the 5 keys to success that I've discovered in this whole starting a business world and what I've learned through failure. And so go to MoneyMakingMomBook.com to sign up for the free 5-day course. And if you have a question that you would like for me to answer in one of my afternoon or evening Money Making Mom scopes, please tweet at me or send me an email through my contact form on Money Saving Mom. So you can tweet at me. My Twitter handle is MoneySavingMom. Tweet your question at me, or send an email through the contact form with your question. I'd love to answer it on a future episode of Money Making Mom. So thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning around 7:30 Central Time for our morning motivation show.